First, the graduating students. You have made us all proud about by graduating from a new university with so much of skills and with so much of power and with so much of enthusiasm. Congratulations to all of you. Honorable Chief Guest today, a very vibrant and a very forward-looking, now a young politician, otherwise a member of the Sikkimese bureaucracy for long, Raju Basnitju, the Honorable Chancellor Sri Pravesh Daniju, Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Singh, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor Dr. Kuldeep Sharma, the former Justice of the Sikkim High Court, Justice Subha, Registrar Dr. Siddharth Sankar, a very distinguished guest. I can see a number of very well-known academicians, bureaucrats here, and my respected parents of all the children, and friends from media, and of course, young children who have gathered here to celebrate this very interesting and very lively occasion. First of all, let me again congratulate all the graduating students of the Medhavi Skills University. It's a very young university, and I'm really inspired by the fact that it brought so much of warmth, right? It brought so much of inner strength in this particular hall. I've addressed this hall many times, but I see a major difference here. So please go ahead. You have a very, very bright future, right? But future with challenges, future with roadblocks, futures with walls. So don't think that, as your Honorable Chancellor said, you don't have a linear future. सीधा मार्ग चाहिँ छैन भन्नुभयो उहाँले, होइन? अनि सीधा मार्गमा त जो पनि हिँड्न सक्छ. So you have to be prepared to have all kinds of constants, walls, distortions on your way, ultimately to achieve the goals you have in your mind. And that goal will make us proud. Sikkim, the entire Sikkim will be very proud of you. The university will be proud of you. And of course, the country, the motherland will be proud of you. You know, there is a clash in the world today about two powers. Everybody says there's a clash between the first world and the second world or the third world. There is a clash between the north and the south. But for us, the clash is between two powers. One is hard power and the other one is soft power. You know what is a hard power? Hard power is all about destructions. You have an atom bomb, you have a intercontinental ballistic missiles, or you have submarines, you have AK-47 rifles, you have a charismatic culture. It's all hard power. It's all about anger. It's all about destruction. So if you have to win through the hard power, you have to kill someone, you have to destroy someone. Then only you will win. But there is another power in this world, that is soft power. Naram Sakti. Soft power is not about destructions. Soft power is all about making everyone happy or winning the game without destroying anything. Do you get it? Soft power is about music, literature, food, skills, knowledge, anything soft power. So you will win the hearts of so many people, so many countries. This is soft power. Look at the Koreans. They have used soft power, the BTS. These young boys. Hey, John Cook, when he goes anywhere, BTS, I see so many people dancing, so many people watching him, right? Though he's in a conscription in a military training, everybody follows him. What is he doing there? And Koreans have invaded the world by exporting BTS. Everyone is happy, no destruction. Everyone is about BTS, right? Few days back, I was with the famous actress Manisha Koiralaju. We had a television discussions on issues related to India and Nepal. So I keep asking Manisha Ji, what really makes you so bright, so lovable, and so attractive, and so famous when you go to the screen? And she says, Mahendra Ji, it's all about skills, soft power. Just see, soft power has no horizon, has no height, has no depth. It can be anywhere, anytime, for anyone, just to win the hearts. So everybody is celebrating soft power today. The food, the culture part of it, the literature part of it, the sports part of it, right? About 20 years back, when I had interactions with the famous Hollywood actress Angelina Jolie. So she had come to India in 2006 and she wanted me to interact with her on certain issues related to refugees. And when I couldn't believe that she had so much of, so much of soft power in her that she can win people just like that. That's why she was made the ambassador of the refugees by the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, so that she can go to the world and say that don't produce refugees. Because refugees, if you produce, these are the implications, right? Conflicts, stability, violence, and all kinds of things. Therefore, what you are doing today is trying to win the world by developing skills. An ordinary graduate of a university, right, may not be able to do that, which you will be able to do that because you have the skills. Today you have a skill on biomedical issues, so you will win so many hearts, so many countries, so many continents, so many communities. That is what is the difference between I as an ordinary graduate and you, a graduate of a Medhavi Skills University. So applause to all of you. Thank you very much. I'm very impressed that you have a Vice Chancellor who goes beyond boundaries. I was listening to his speech and each word I was enjoying that what he was saying, because I have lived outside my birthplace, that is Darjeeling, for almost 45 years. I left Darjeeling immediately after my graduation and I studied outside Darjeeling and lived outside Darjeeling for many years. So when he says about what is happening in the global world, what kind of children we are preparing, what kind of outlook they should have, I started thinking about my own childhood. My school headmaster in Turnbull High School in Darjeeling was Mahendra Kumar sir. And Mahendra Kumar sir used to come to the class. He passed away just 2 years back. अनि उहाँले जब क्लासमा आएर हामीलाई श्रेणीमा आएर हामीलाई भन्नुहुन्थ्यो 3-4 कुरा भन्नुहुन्थ्यो. He used to tell us 2-3 very interesting. First he used to say was, hey boys, you all have to demolish the worlds before you भन्नुहुन्थ्यो. अब के भनेको भने तपाईँको अगाडिको भित्ता चाहिँ भत्काउनु भने त्यो पनि भित्ता त्यो पनि भत्काउनु नि त. So then I used to say, hey, what is he saying? हामीले जोक पनि गर्थ्यौँ, सबै भित्ता भत्कायो भने बस्नु चाहिँ कहाँ बस्नु भनेर, right? But what he was saying is, you have two varieties of walls before you. दुई किसिमको भित्ता हुँदो रहेछ, होइन? एउटा भित्ता रहेछ बाहिरको बाघले बनाएको भित्ता, अर्को भित्ता रहेछ मनको बाघले बनाएको भित्ता. So you have a मनको बाघको भित्ता र मनको बाघको भित्ता. So हाम्रो master, what he was saying is, you must demolish the walls which you have inside you, because that prevents you to do something meaningful, because that stops you to do something big. So you break the walls which you have. Manko baglai nikalera phyakidinuhoस् bhani. That's what he said. And some of us did that. Rather, many of us did that. That's why we could do something for the country, for the global world, and for our own geographies like Sikkim, Darjeeling, northeast part of India. So that's what he used to say. Secondly, he used to say that you all must have scientific temper. You know, तिमीहरूको जहिले पनि हेर्दाखेरि चाहिँ वैज्ञानिक भएर वैज्ञानिक रूपमा हेर्नुपर्छ. आजकल त डोन्ट पास द जजमेन्ट भन्छ नि, होइन, इजिली भनेर भन्छ नि, होइन, आई एम नट जजिङ यु भन्छ नि. मेरो हेडमास्टरले चाहिँ मलाई जजिङ भनेर सिकाउँदैन थियो. ही युज्ड टु टेल अस, ओके, you all have to have scientific temper. There is a problem. Don't look at it from a narrow perspective of a community, narrow perspective of your geography. Look at a scientific, which is correct, which is most objective. Treat that. And that trained us in our, utilizing our minds in the best possible manner. And the third thing he always said was, that's what your chancellor and pro-chancellor also said, is about don't forget your roots. Afnu jara nabulnu. And absolutely correct. Wherever you go, don't forget your roots. Our prime ministers, Pandit Nehru, Mahatma Gandhi, and Atal Bihari Vajpayee, or our presidents, or all our intellectuals, top public intellectuals, never forgot their roots. They always went back to roots, remembering this and that. Right? I'll give you one simple example. Very interesting story about our own Prime Minister, former Prime Minister, Manmohan Singh Ji. And I had an opportunity to interact with him very often. So, in one of his, when he became the Prime Minister for the second time, one of his old friends wrote a letter to him from Lahore in Pakistan, because he was born there, and told him that, hey, I am now very old, and before I die, I would like to come and meet with you. अनि भनेपछि यता हाम्रो प्रधानमन्त्रीज्यू पनि भावनाले विह्वल हुनुभयो. अनि यस प्लिज कम भनेर आएपछि दुईजना भेट भएपछि हाम्रो प्रधानमन्त्रीले आलिङ्गन गर्नुभयो, होइन, आँसु चुहाउनु भयो, अनि खुसी हुनुभयो कि हामी दुईजनै छप्पर नभएको स्कुलमा पढेको. We all studied in a school room where there were no roof. And that was the state of education there. So then this gentleman, old gentleman, says, I have brought something. You are the Prime Minister of the largest democracy in the world. You have everything. So I have brought something for you which you don't have. So हाम्रो प्रधानमन्त्री पनि आश्चर्यचकित भएर सोध्नुभयो कि के ल्याउनु. अनि सानो खल्तीबाट एउटा सानो पोका निकालेर भन्यो अरे कि दिस इज, यो चाहिँ तपाईँ पढेको स्कुलको माटो हो भनेर. दिस इज, यो चाहिँ मिट्टी आपका जो आप और मैं जिस स्कूल में पढ़ा. This is remembering your roots. And for me also, as your Chancellor mentioned that it is not a linear, I have faced so many difficulties in my life. Now I am pretty old, but whenever, today also if I, all the dreams in my life, I have never seen a dream in English. I have never seen a dream in Hindi. I have always seen a dream in Nepali. It's very surprising, you know. And secondly, you know, I always see my dreams about my village, about my people, about Gokaland, about bears, all kinds of things, right? And whenever I am in difficulty, sometimes I am very upset. I have not been able to do this. I just don't do anything. I just make my room very comfortable, lie down, tell my two daughters, Kafur and Totala, and my wife, let me be alone, and I go back to my roots. And the best way to go back to roots is to listen to your music, to your song. Fariyaले listen, Depani Ratadana. भनेपछि त बस जस्तै मुडबाट पनि तपाईँ बाहिर निस्किन सक्नुहुन्छ होइन मम दामन जिरहेको एउटा जीवन होइन के अरे हाम्रो ओम विक्रम विष्टज्यू जस्ट मेटिङ ओम विक्रम विष्टज्यूले बुढो हुनुभएछ अब म जस्तै पोखरामा हाम्रो ठुलो मिटिङ थियो उहाँ आउनुभएको थियो हामीले दुईजना बसेर गीत गायौँ यो So roots are very, very important. So what? Because that gives you strength always. Your roots are so very important. The second thing I would like to say is, you know, this is a young university. So you have a great advantage. Like when I was in the Central University in Sikkim, I had a great advantage because it was a young university, so I could dream of making it anything in the world. Go beyond my own Jawaharlal Nehru University. Could it be Harvard? Could it be Yale? Could it be Oxford? Right? You could think of. You have that great advantage, Chancellor Sir and the Vice Chancellors, that you can make this university the way you like it. You can set the standards. This is the standard of my university in every sense of the term, in faculty recruitment, in syllabus making, in evaluation system, in training our children, in engaging the industries, in bringing the global worlds to the university, your university. This is the standard I would, and please set that standard. The higher the standard, your more recognitions you will get, and the more productive you will be as far as the national productivity and global productivity is concerned. You have a great advantage. That's what we did in Sikkim University. I tried to set a very high standard for Sikkim University. Zero corruption university, no Pune university, right? And this is the standard of a computer in Sikkim University. This is the standard of a teachers recruited in Sikkim University. So I said, we tried to set a very, very high standard. In our interview board, in the peace and conflict studies, all the people, military to national security to intelligence to academics to journalists would be there to select the teachers. That's what we did. And we set the standards. Right? I hope the university is keeping up this standard. And suddenly you will get so many. Yale would invite me, hey, please come and speak about your experience in Sikkim University. Oxford would do that. So many other universities would do that. The ministry would tell me, please tell other universities as to how you did the syllabus, such kind of things. You know, the problem with us is, in our society, in many societies, communities in India, or in the hills, in Sikkim, in northeast, in Darjeeling, we are the at most second generation or third generation learners. My grandfather was illiterate. I don't say he was uneducated. He didn't get a degree, but he was a brilliant grandfather, right? But education-wise, I'm the second generation. My father was a graduate, he did this, he did that, and I am the second generation. In many of us case,
first generation. So we will have to compete with generations who have got educations or are grown up in the last 12 generations. You have Bengalis, you have Marathis, you have Tamils, who might have got 12 generations in educations. Or you have Japanese, you have Chinese, you have Americans, right? You have Koreans. So we have to compete with them. So and the university plays a very, very critical role in making you compete with the global world, with other communities, with other industries. That is very, very critical. Therefore, what is very important is to have an interdisciplinary teaching. It could be skills, could be in anything. You can mix up your skill with political science, with history, with geography, with physics, with chemistry, right? And for that, teachers are very, very important. For example, everybody knows in mathematics, in algebra, a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus twice ab plus b square, right? But what is the meaning of a plus b whole square for me in my daily life? If it is not useful, what do I do with a plus b whole square? In economics, we call it law of diminishing returns. What is the relevance of law of diminishing returns for me in my daily life? And that is where teachers and the skills will come. The way you do it in your classroom, that re-skills a student. For example, so that's why a teacher in the skill university does not do what is mathematics. That's why I like skill universities, right? A teacher in the school, in the skill university will do why is mathematics. And that makes a big difference. Right? And that makes a big difference. And that is what the global world wants. Global world nowadays, they want degree plus, as Pro Vice Chancellor was saying. Hey, everybody, you have a degree, I have a degree. So how do I distinguish, right? How does a person select a person for another person for employment? That's what we look forward to. I sit in civil service to interview board my IAS, IPS, or board my personal. When I sit there, we look for, hey, what does he know? What does she know about, yes, political science, yes, economics, yes, history, but beyond that, what does she know? And many students come and ask me, sir, how do I prepare for civil service exams? And my standard answer as an old teacher is, hey, you must read. You should read what others read or what others study. But you also must read what others do not read or study. And that is plus, right? And whenever a bright student comes to an interview board, we want to see what is that plus in her and or in him. That would make a difference in the recruitment process. So this university gives you that plus, that skill, that exposure, that outlook and that knowledge that would make a big difference. That's why in Sikkim University, we said we will go beyond classrooms. So we started a program known as Winter Sojourn. In winter holidays for 2.5 months, we will pick up all the students from different disciplines, history, science, literature, anthropology, sociology, put them in one group, students, teachers also in one group, and tell them, okay, now you go and study water. Okay, you go and study pastime games in the hills. You can go and study the women vendors in the mountain areas. Or you can go and study on Alaichi, or what you call it, Amritsar, Orange. And when they come back with such a huge skills and knowledge that, hey, water is not just water, it is not only drinking things, it is not only washing things. It has this scientific characters, it has this kind of vulnerabilities as far as climate change is concerned. So many issues will come. And the skills are built that way. Right? The skills, for example, we started a program known as Oral History, Maukik Ityas, where we will go and ask old Sikkimese, old people from the hills in Darjeeling, Kalimpong and all, tell us what is what in your life. And these people used to tell us, oh, from Gangtok to go to Siliguri, we used to take 6 days. And if somebody invites us to their home for food, we used to carry our own plates. And these are the knowledge, these are the heritage, and this heritage and knowledge has to be converted into skills and documented. This is what, and there is a special place. That's why we said, they were libraries, they were big libraries. That's why we said that Baje Mare, Boju Marin, दुईवटा पुस्तकालय लिएरै गए अब यस्तो उन्नति नभई भनेर हामीले भन्थ्यौँ. That's why we told our children, hey, the grandfather passed away, grandmother crossed the horizon, took away 2 beautiful libraries. We shall not let it happen भनेर त्यो स्लोगनै गरेर हामीले we started oral history program, and these are skills. Because the Vietnamese war, when it happened, the Americans, right, used to attack Vietnam from all possible directions and geographies. And the Vietnamese generals used to be scared away. So many families were destroyed, so many women lost their dignity, right? So everything was done in Vietnam. Today Vietnam is doing very well, but if you read the history. And one day what happened was, suddenly a general came, and the moment he came, he started talking in a manner that he said the Americans started withdrawing. So somebody doing oral history went to him and said, hey, there's so many generals were there, but nobody could stop Americans in invading your country. But what did you do? This man says, in the oral history program, he says, I did not fight the war in Vietnam. I fought my war in US, in America. This gentleman it's a very beautiful book. This gentleman was surprised, hey, what do you mean by that? He says, no, I went to US and told the Americans that your country has done these destructions. Your country has done this many dislocations in our country. So the Americans would say, oh, my tax money is used to destroy Vietnam. My tax money is used by the American soldiers to rape the Vietnamese women. Right? There was a massive public upsurge in US. Don't do this, withdraw immediately from US. That's why it happened. So it's a very, very powerful skills to do a kind of conserve your history. My last point to you is about Sikkim itself. You have 2 great advantages or 2 great turning points in Sikkim today. Right? First, of course, is you have a leadership, relatively a younger generation leadership, looks forward to do something big for the state, carries with him all kinds of professionals, experts, right? And thirdly, he says he would like to deliver goods. That's why he has in his team with so much of experience, like Raju Basneju, the Honorable Education Minister. The second is, this is still a virgin land as far as skills are concerned, as far as understanding history, climate change studies, natural resources, culture, sociology, communities are concerned, this is still a relatively virgin land. So Medhavi University has a major role to link, to connect communities, the schools, the colleges, and bring them to a platform where it will reskill them and send them to the global world. For example, I've been teaching in Japan in a number of universities, and when I go there, one of the things Japanese always look forward to is helping their aging population. पैसा प्रशस्तै छ, एजिङ पपुलेसन भइसक्यो होइन, अनि उनीहरूलाई हेर्ने मान्छेहरू छैन, त उनीहरूले के भन्दैछन् भन्दाखेरि तपाईहरू जस्तो नर्थ इस्टको नर्सेसहरू, मेल फिमेल नर्सेसहरू, you please come help us. And that's why the government of Sikkim is now trying to set up a new directorate to do the foreign employment training, and I'm sure you will have a very, very big role to play in the Medhavi Skills University. Train them, young boys, girls, on nursing professions or any other professions. Just one extra thing you should know is Japanese language, and there is an employment opportunity in Korea, in US, in Israel, in Malaysia, in many of the West European countries. They don't look for degrees. They look for human resources with skills. They look for human resources with soft powers. This is what they would like to do. Therefore, I would suggest that this university, right, my own experience as a teacher is that university has to interdisciplinary in character. I am a student of history. I can't afford to say today कि म इतिहास मात्रै पढ्छु, इतिहासमै PhD गर्छु, इतिहासमै जीवन बिताउँछु. No, you can't afford to do this. And somebody would say, oh, I've got a PhD degree now, so I don't need to know anything, I don't need to learn, study anything. Because, no, that is wrong. PhD degree is the first degree for an academic to go to a real profession of academics. So some of them, my friends, I do see that, hey, now I have a PhD degree, so I'm the most knowledgeable person. Nobody can touch me. No, this is wrong. Similarly, interdisciplinarity. You can't afford to say that I am a student of history, so I should not know anything science, about anthropology, about economics, about business, about market. No, you can't afford to say that. So the teaching today is interdisciplinary. A student of economics would really study science, technology, because the world is so interdisciplinary in nature, right? And taught in interdisciplinary university with the skills would make a big, big difference. Therefore, I always tell my teacher colleagues in the university system, wherever I go, a teacher himself or herself has to be innovative. Teacher has to bring new knowledge, new ways of negotiating with the students in the classroom, right? New ways of imparting what you call your exposures and experimentations. Because when you go to the classroom, a teacher has no caste, a teacher has no religion, a teacher has no nationality. A teacher is only a teacher. A teacher is only a teacher. Similarly, when you go to the classroom, a student also keep all your baggages outside, your caste, your language, make your class as diverse as possible. There are Bengalis, there are British, there are Americans, there are Japanese, there are Sikkimese, there are Biharis in the classroom. Make your classroom as diverse, as competitive as possible. Because the world outside is different.
So you prepare now in your classrooms. That's what we did in Sikkim University. Make your classrooms as diverse. And why St. Stephen's College does so well? Why Jawaharlal Nehru University does so well? Is because teachers are from all kinds of communities. Students are from all kinds of countries and communities. So a classroom becomes absolutely a model of what is there outside your classroom, so that you have a smooth transition from classroom to wherever you go. Therefore, my last words to you, all of you, is, in Bhagavad Gita, it is written, Yoga Karmashu Kausalam. And because many of us think that yoga is about keeping yourself fit and doing physical exercise, doing yoga, but actually Bhagavad Gita says yoga karmashu kausalam means whatever you do with dexterity, with dedication, with discipline, and with whatever determination is yoga. Your 3Ds लगाएर discipline, dedication and determination लगाएर तपाईले जे काम गर्नुहुन्छ त्यही योगा हो. पढाइ पनि योगा हैन, हिमाल चढ्नु पनि योगा, कुनै काम पनि गर्नु. So I think this Medhavi Skills University will stick to its principles of these 3Ds. And when you do these 3Ds, the mountaineers, when they climb the mountains, they say that Sanu Sanu Marvat. When you climb up the mountains, they said Sanu Sanu Marvat. The Tenzin said that, Hillary said that, Junko Tabe said that, Bachendri Pal said that, all these mountaineers would say that. That means, in English, it is, may you climb from peak to peak. And I wish that all the graduates, all the students of Medhavi Skills University will climb from peak to peak and have a bright future. Thank you very much.